Yum, 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 yum. Hello, hello, my starries. Welcome back to the stream. How's it going? How's it hanging? Welcome back to another stream with me, Glitter M. Hi, how are ya? Oh, was that a Jeffree Star thing? I'm just like thinking, and I'm like in the back of my head, I'm like, somebody said that. Who used to say that? I think it's a Jeffree Star thing. So maybe I won't say that. Maybe I won't be saying that. So, anyway, hello everybody. How's it going tonight? Hope you're all having a great, great night tonight. And I do have some fun things to actually kind of, talk with you and like show you guys. So, I've said this a little bit, and I do want to give Rosa a shout out real quick because Rosa was telling me some like things about where I can go to get some like toggles because I mentioned I can't really get anything from my rigger anymore, and I'm still looking for somebody. So if anybody knows anyone who could do like some hair toggles for me, like at least just make some hair coming down in the back. Like I'm okay with my pigtails staying on. They probably have to stay on anyway. But just like some long hair to go in on the back and like toggle it on or something. If anybody knows anyone who could do that, let me know. I think I might be able to find someone because I did find someone on Etsy who did some toggles, and I actually did purchase a couple toggles today. And basically, I think I might have found someone because one of the people I found, they actually do like custom if you like DM them on their VGen. So I might inquire about that because I really want to have a toggle with like, long hair in the back too. Like I have dyed hair IRL. It's not gonna be thick. But it's okay. My VTuber model here, she can have the thick hair. It's okay. It's okay. I can have thick hair. I can have thick hair. But I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. So, like I said, I did get some toggles. So, I have all of the toggles. They are linked because I'm not going to lie. I don't remember every single person's name. But I did go and I linked them here on the, like, about me over on Twitch, and then over in my YouTube, in my like bio section, everybody is linked because I too am an artist, and I hate when people don't credit the artist on whatnot. So anyway, here are the toggles. You can see them once again, the names of the artist down in the about me and like bio sections and stuff. So this is the first one. This one is a gaming one, and I might actually have to do a little bit of customization with this one because you can actually switch a couple things. Like you can take those like little spikes off, and I might take those off and stuff. There's a couple things that you can customize, but I bought this. The hands, they don't really match my skin tone, not gonna lie, but it's okay. You won't be able to tell. I hope you won't be able to tell. Like for example, if I'm over here and I'm on this screen, then maybe it's not too bad. But yeah, like you can't really do that here. And I just do want to mention that like everybody who I did buy from, it is okay to like do a little bit of customization on these. Once again, they're all on Etsy, so definitely check them out because it's really great. And like I said, I might have found someone who could help me with my problem of not being able to get any toggles. So I might have found someone to do custom toggles for me. This person, this artist is not that one, but I'll show you guys that one soon. This, take these away for a second. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. There's also, oh, that's mine. There's also some tarot cards. I can do some tarot reading for you guys. So, I mean, I don't really know how to do tarot cards, but they're here. And then this one is the one that I think I might actually commission this person because look at how amazing this toggle is. Okay, let me just, because you can kind of see my elbow here. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. So this is an art tablet. I mean, come on. This art tablet, it's me. This is so me. Like, this is the most me thing. I mean, it matches my aesthetic to a T. Like, it's perfect. So when I do my drawing streams, you can see me doing some little like scribbly scrabblies and stuff. And like this one is my favorite. This artist is absolutely amazing. Like I cannot believe how good they are. I actually might go in and get them to make me some custom stuff because I saw that they had a VGen and I don't know. I think that they have nailed the aesthetic that I want and they are very good. Like they had a video and everything helping people who buy their products on Etsy set up the stuff. And by the way, these are kind of like they're not custom. I don't know the right way to say it, but it's like, multiple people can own the same product. It's like how sometimes like you can go and buy a VTuber, but it's like multiple people will own that VTuber, kind of like a starting VTuber and stuff. But like, yeah, I love I love this so much. It's so adorable. It's so cute. So I might actually have them go in and make me a couple of like custom stuff just because they are fantastic and like they had all these resources and like teaching you how to like get stuff once you buy the stuff, how to like program it into VTube Studio because I don't know how to do that. But oh my god, this is just like amazing. Like they absolutely are so good. This is just so amazing. But yeah, I love this one. This is so nice. So nice. So yeah, definitely give a lot of love to the artists down below because they did a very good job. And you know what? I think I might actually keep this toggle on. I might keep this one on because this one's just so cool. I can't get over it. And I look so official, like I look so official. I look official with my little pen here. So, anyway, that's a little bit of what we are going to, like see coming up. But yeah, when I do gaming streams and stuff, bippity boppity boo, I'll be using bippity boppity gaming system because I'm not gonna lie, I sit there and I'm like, I'm just standing here. It'd be nice to have like a gaming controller. Like I see so many VTubers who have like a gaming controller and like Rosa, like she has this like little T pose where she's not a T pose that's like stretching your arms out, but she has this pose where she's just like sipping on some tea while playing a game. And I'm like, I like something to do with my hands. I want something to do with my hands. So yeah, once again, this is what we got. We got some stuff I can see in your future that you're gonna want to subscribe. But yeah, very, very fun. But I am going to probably keep this one on because this one is just so amazing. It's so good, so good. But yeah, tonight we are going to be reading more of the Reddit Am I the Asshole stories because I like these and it tends to see that a lot of people have been liking them over here on the YouTube portion. So if you guys like them, then I will continue doing them because I really do enjoy reading these because I've always been someone who I like to give my opinions on things like stories and stuff. It's just always been something that I like to do, and so that's just one of those things. I like to give my opinions on things. So anyway, I've got some Reddit stories pulled up. As always, I will let you guys know, first and foremost, the person who wrote the story, and two, I'll read the title, and then I will just kind of give my thoughts based on the title before getting into the story. And then we'll get into reading it, and I'll give my thoughts. So, the first story that I have and this one's kind of funny to me because I can kind of already see why maybe this one happened because I also hate the thing that's in this title. So this title is this is by Such a Restaurant 8545 who says, "Am I the asshole for yelling at my mom for eating peanut butter in her own house?" And like, if you guys know me at all, I don't like peanut butter. I don't like peanuts. I don't like anything like that. Exactly, Peach. What? What? By the way, if I didn't mention, hi YouTube and hi Twitch. The dual stream. But yeah, no, like I hate peanut butter. I hate peanut butter. I hate peanuts. My whole life I've been like, nah, I hate nuts. They're so gross. Like I'm gonna write that down. I hate nuts. I hate them. And then I grew up. And now just now. I'm 22 and I'm finally starting to like be a little bit more adventurous when it comes to eating nuts. And I actually like them. I like cashews, I like walnuts, I like pistachios, I like all kinds of nuts. Just not peanuts. I hate peanuts. So if this person, has a peanut allergy or hates peanuts, then I think I can vibe with them. But let's read the story. Am I the asshole for yelling at my mom for eating peanut butter in her own house? My daughter, 2.5, so 2.5, my daughter, who's 2.5, was diagnosed with peanut allergies and pistachios and cashews a year ago. She became almost unconscious, vomited, and landed us in the ER. Not anaphylactic. It was terrifying to see my baby go through that. I love my mom so much. We're really close, and she loves my daughter like crazy. Ever since the diagnosis, everyone in my family has been in agreement to not eat those nuts around her. It seems so obvious and easy to my brothers and my dad, but my mom keeps making that. What? Sorry, there's spelling issues. But my mom keeps saying that I. What? But my mom keeps making what I think are dumb decisions. When we go on vacation, she'll go out of her way to bring big bags of nuts and nut candy with her. She brought a little bag of pistachios, and when she stayed at my house one time, started shelling and eating them in the living room after my daughter went to sleep. She brought peanut butter M&Ms on a plane ride we all took together, and on these occasions, I kept my cool as I asked her not to do these things and pointed out the ridiculousness of her having to eat one thing that my daughter is allergic to. Well, we've been staying at her house for the past few days, and this morning my mom was eating a sandwich. My daughter went over and asked for a bite, and my mom said, "Sorry, sweetie, you can't have this. It's peanut butter." And I kind of completely lost my shit. I asked her calmly why she was eating peanut butter, and she said, "I don't know," as she dumped it in the garbage. Then I kind of really lost it. I got very emotional and raised my voice, something I never do, and I chewed her out, as always, for eating nuts around my daughter, even though she knows that she's allergic, even though I've asked her not to multiple times. I told her I want to trust her so badly to watch my daughter without me there, but I just can't. I can't. And then I cried and stormed out of the room. Anyways, am I the asshole for yelling at my mom in her own house over this? Ooh. What do you guys think? I think there's a pretty obvious answer to this. Not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna write that down. I think there's a pretty obvious answer here. I think there's a pretty obvious answer that yes, the mom is the asshole. You are not the asshole. The mom is. Because one of the things that comes with taking care of children, if you are putting your child in the care of someone, in my opinion, you should have full knowledge that this person is going to protect your kid. If your kid is allergic to something and you ask them, hey, if you're going to watch my kid or if my kid's going to be around you, don't eat this one thing that my kid is allergic to. If they don't keep doing that, if you say, hey, my kid's allergic to peanuts, don't eat peanuts around my kid, and they keep doing it, I would cut them out. And I know that that's your mom, and that's difficult because it's your mom. It's not just like, a random friend or something. This is the person who gave birth to you, the grandmother of the kid who now has this severe allergy. I get it. I 100% get it, and I do think that the mom is the asshole in this situation, just because that's your grandkid. Like, I'm sorry, but you should care enough about the well-being of, your grandchild, and, respect your daughter's wishes because she herself is now a parent. You should respect that wish. And especially, and it's not even something to take lightly, let's just say that. Having an allergy to a food is very severe. And, again, with this mom saying that, my kid has to be rushed to the hospital, and it was scary. It was really traumatizing for her to see such a little kid, her own baby, have to, suffer like this, all because of a peanut. And now we know, hey, if we don't give her these, that won't happen again. And I definitely do think that, why would you not, as the grandparent, why would you not also want to do everything you can to protect your grandchild? Just saying. So, in M's book, I'm writing down asshole. Check. Check. Okay, let's actually see the comments, because I do like to read the comments. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find some that aren't that long. Some people said that, like, your mom's doing this on purpose. You'd be shocked at the number of grandmas who don't believe in allergies and keep giving grandkids those foods. See, that's insane to me. Like, like, I mean, I guess I kind of understand because I have a grandma who's like that. Like, I'm very fortunate that I don't have any sort of, like, hi Choco Pudding, welcome to the stream. We're reading Am I the Asshole stories and just like talking about them. So yeah, if you guys want to give your opinions, by the way, about any of these stories or situations, please do. But yeah, like, I have a grandma who like, she likes to eat anything. She'll eat anything. And I remember being a kid and being like, I don't like, for example, I don't like onions. I hate onions. I hate them. And my grandma used to force me to eat them because she's like, oh no, onions are good. She loves onions. And she's like, oh yeah, if you just eat it, then you'll like it. And I'm like, no, I won't. Like, force me to eat it. And I just, like, if I put myself in that situation, like, if I had an allergy to onions or something, I would have been screwed. So yeah, definitely, once again, writing this grandma, check for asshole. Okay, let's find another story. Let's find another one. Oh, okay, so this is the next one. This is from Conspiracy Cranberry. Consis Cranberry. Am I the asshole for not covering my friend's meal when she ordered more? It's irresponsible. Yeah, I would definitely say on that last one, if you're a grandparent, that is extremely irresponsible of you, especially, as someone who should be watching that child. For this one, am I the asshole for not covering my friend's meal when she ordered more? Right off the bat, I want to say no. Because, like, in my opinion, it sounds like from the title that you're maybe, like, going out with your friend and, like, maybe you're paying for it and you're like, hey, I'll pay for, like, a meal or something. Some people tend to get greedy and they're like, oh, well, someone else is paying for the meal, then I'll get, like, the most expensive steak on the menu. I'll get, like, this appetizer and this drink. Some people tend to be very, what's the word? Besides just greedy, just, like, greedy. We'll say greedy. They just get very greedy. So, like, oh god, yeah. Right off the bat, I want to say no. They're not the asshole. But let's read it. So, me and a group of friends went out to eat after midterm. It was a casual place where you could pay at the end, and so everyone was ordering whatever they wanted. I got a small as usual because I'm trying to save some cash. So I had a water and a basic pasta that was on special. A few others did the same, but one of my friends ordered an appetizer, a big entree, and dessert. And she got a drink too. No judgment, she can do her, but it definitely added up. When the check came, she suddenly goes, let's split the bill evenly. And I was like, what? I thought we were all paying for what we ordered. She said it would be easier, and that's it. That's what we always do, which is not true, by the way. I told her I only had enough for what I ate plus a tip. She rolled her eyes and said it's not that deep, and that I'm being cheap over a few bucks. But it wasn't a few bucks. It would have almost doubled what I was planning to spend. I didn't budge and paid for only my stuff. My other friends didn't care and split the bill evenly. Now she's being super passive and told her other friends that I embarrassed her in front of everyone and made her look greedy. But, like, she assumed we'd cover part of extra food for her without even asking. Am I the asshole? No. Right off the bat, I'm saying no. No, you're not. No. That is insane. That is some level of, like, I want to find another word than greed. Some level of just, like, like, stupidness, I would say. Like, if it, like that person said, it's not that big of a deal. If it's not that big of a deal, then just pay for your own food. Simple. Like, imagine being so entitled. That's a good word. Entitled to, go out and have a meal with your friends and expect for your friends to pay, like, more than their own share. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, it seems like, let me reread it again real quick. It says midterms, so I'm assuming that they're college students, and, money is not easy to come by for a lot of people in college. The term broke college student, write that down, is like that's a thing. And like, genuinely, imagine if it's not that big of a deal, just pay for your own food. And I don't know if everyone had that agreement of like, let's all like buy our own food. It sounded like it. And I'm sorry, but like, I'm a big component. Like, when I go out with friends, I'm someone who I'm like from the get-go, I'm like, you guys, like, if you want to do something, go together. Because sometimes when I go out with my friends to eat, sometimes like, two of them might get like a like a special. Like, for example, we went to Applebee's one day, and two of my friends got like a 2 for 10, and so they like had like a split meal and stuff, and I just got my own food because I didn't want that. So like, I think it depends on the people that you talk to, about like what you're gonna order. But for me, I always state like up front, if I'm with friends or something, that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna order my own food, like I'm gonna pay for just my food. And I think that's something that maybe you all need to tell each other. But yeah, it's very entitled to think that, like, someone else should pay for your food. And I don't like the way that they worded it, because the way that they worded it made me personally feel like they were trying to scam the other people by saying like, oh, we should all just go together. Because it's not outright saying like, oh yeah, pay for my food, but it's implied that, like, because you're so, like, just emphasizing on like, oh, let's all just split because you have the biggest total. It's like they're still going to be paying for some of your food. And so it's like, yeah, no, I'm writing down asshole. Yeah, it is. That is crazy, and it is absolutely foul. Like, I'm sorry, but the economy is not that great. And like, I will be damned if like someone asks me to like, pay for their food if it's like that. If it was a situation like I've had this before where like, like we go out or something, like especially when we were like teenagers and I was going out with my friends, like I remember we would go out and like when my friends would be like, wow, I really want this, like, this food, this like drink or something, and they're like, I just don't have enough money, and I'm like, hey, it's okay, I'll spot you, it's food. You deserve some food. Or like, if we were going out to the mall and like everybody else was eating food, like getting like food court, like, meals, and someone was like, I just don't have the money to pay for it, it's like, it's food, I'm gonna pay for you, okay, it's okay, like, you don't have to spot me back, if you don't have the money, like, you deserve to be able to eat. And if I have the money, I will pay for you, or you can eat some of mine. Like, I'm sorry, but I am not going to let someone be hungry if, they can't pay for it. But in situations like this, where the person is ordering more than what they can pay for, trying to slump off at other people, that's the asshole. You gotta check that off. Check that off as the asshole. Let's see. Let's see what the comments say about this one, though. Let's see. Okay, this person says, like you, I hate when people order big and then assume everyone will split the bill evenly. I can't say the word split tonight. The best way to deal with this is to announce that at the start that everyone should keep track of their own expenses. That's exactly what I said. That's what I do every single like time, And like someone down here said, like, I'm an Aussie and this concept is crazy to me. You pay what you order for. I would never expect others to cover my tab, which, yeah, I definitely feel like that could be an American thing, because it's always kind of been that way. Like, for me, is, like, people would, like, fight for the bill here and stuff. It's like, oh no, I can pay for it. But, like, for me, I'm sorry, but, like, I want to pay for my own food. Like, the only time that I would pay for someone else is like birthdays. Like for example, when I go out with my mom, if it's her birthday, I'll pay for her meal. We'll go out somewhere, I'll pay for the meal, and I'll pay for both our meals, the whole meal, because like that's my birthday treat. But like, even like when I do go out with my mom, it's like she pays for what she orders, I pay for what I order. So yeah, let's see. Okay. Let's see what other story we got. Oh, I don't know if I want to read this one. This one's kind of gross. So this one says, this is by extra underscore AD 1935. Would I be the asshole for not letting a friend check out an open room at my place because they currently have bed bugs? That's kind of gross to me. um, I would say in this case, I would say no, just because, like, for me personally, I think that, like, like, if I knew that someone, like, this sounds mean, but if I knew that someone couldn't keep up with, like, cleanliness, because I'm a very clean person, like, everything has a spot. I don't like things to be out of order, and so for me personally, I'm like, like, I want everything to kind of, you know be kept the way that I leave it. I would hope that, if I, did get a roommate or something, that roommate would also share that sentiment of wanting to keep the shared area clean, because I don't think I could possibly deal with someone who is, like, just uncleanly or whatnot, or just can't keep anything clean. I think I couldn't survive like that. And so, reading over this title, exactly, oh, just because I'm like, I could not do it. For me personally, I could not do it. Like, I'm sorry, even if it was my best friend, like, and I have friends, I have very good friends who I know, I could not let them move in with me. Like, because I know that they would not keep stuff clean, but let's read it. So it starts with, title pretty much says it all. I had a friend reach out to me today because we were interested in opening a room up that I have available for rent. However, when I asked him what's going on with his place, he said that he had bed bugs. I'm no expert, but what I understand about those MFs is that it's hard to get rid of everywhere. Would I be the asshole for not wanting to show the room to my friend? How can I know the situation is properly sterilized before coming to my place? My current place is cursed with enough as it is without the addition of bed bugs. That's pretty quick. See, here's the thing. I don't know a whole lot about bed bugs. Because, like, in my family, we've never had bed bugs. So I don't know that much. So I'm gonna read some comments. But, like, I don't have any knowledge about bed bugs. So, a couple of the comments says that I wouldn't let them anywhere near your house until you know for sure that they're finally bed bug free. Those nasty little MFs can get into anything quickly and breed like crazy. Oh. And someone says, unless he comes to you with absolutely nothing, no clothes, fabric, or even a backpack, nothing wood, nothing, you'll risk getting bed bugs yourself. It's not worth it. Oh god, a lot of people are saying, like, just no, because bed bugs are a problem that you don't want to have. Like, I've never had them before, so, like I said, I just don't know. But, hi Joe. I mean, I could, but then it's just gonna, like, get in the way of my screen. Like, I just wish that the problem is that I'd have to edit it a little bit. Let's see if I can, let me just see if I can do that real quick, because it is kind of hard to, like, post it on my screen, just because I have to, like, do, like, dimension edits. So let's try that real quick. Let's see. Or you know what? I could even do this. I can just take a screenshot maybe, and I'll just screenshot them and upload them here as an image. I think that's gonna be easier for me. Because I'm like, I don't want to show you my 50 million tabs of where I'm writing my book that has to kind of be kept a secret. So, let's see. Okay. Here we go. This is what I can do. This is what I'll do. Let's get that, boink that, and then we'll put that over here, and then we'll take this, and then we'll take that. There you go. Okay, I found it. I found a way. I have found a way. As they say, life finds a way. I'm gonna put that right there, or maybe you know what? For just for now, I'll put this like over here above my chat. Maybe that's easier for you guys to see. But I know it's kind of smallish, but is it okay? Are you able to read that? I could like maybe make it a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. But yeah, like I don't know anything about bed bugs because I've never had them. So like I mean, if it's something, because like I've had this is gross. Like I grew up in a place where like we had lice a lot, and it was not fun. Like it was very gross. And so basically like the thing is, it was so hard to get rid of, and like it was torture, like absolute torture. And like that's what I'm assuming bed bugs are like. And if they are like that, then like nah, I don't think you're the asshole for, like not wanting to just like get involved with that. Cause like, mm-mm, mm-mm. It's good. Okay, okay. I'll try to keep it like that. So, okay, we got another one here. This is the next story. I'll just post it up here for you guys to see because oh, that's here. I'll post it above the chat here while I'm reading it, and then I'll take it down. How about that? How about that? Okay, so this one says, "Am I the asshole for not being more supportive when my what is FIL? Father-in-law? I think it's father-in-law. Yeah, father-in-law is about to die." Okay, I'll just read that one more time. Oh, why did it hold that message? I'm sorry. There you go. Let's see. Am I the asshole for not being more supportive while my father-in-law is about to die? Whew. Ooh. Let me read. Let's see. Joe says he's kind of the asshole. His friend is trying to escape a bed bug situation, and the friend is just refusing point blank. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but from what I can see in the comments, a lot of people are saying like it's gonna be a big hassle, for the person who's letting the friend stay over, because it's like one person gets bed bugs and then they spread it to other people. And a lot of people were saying just like make sure that he comes with like nothing, like doesn't take possessions maybe. But like it's just one of those situations where I can understand why, like it does kind of feel like he is being a little bit of an asshole. I'm gonna say a maybe on that. Write that down. Maybe an asshole, because if your friend really needs a place and you refuse them, it does suck. But it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things where like I just think you need to like talk with each other, like voice your concerns maybe to your friend about the bed bugs. So let's see with this one. Am I the asshole for not being more supportive while my father-in-law is about to die? For me, I feel like from this title alone, yeah, yeah, you kind of do, because that sounds horrible. But like let's read it and see if I can give this guy the benefit of the doubt. So this says, sorry if this is too long, I just don't want to miss any context. My father-in-law was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer back in September. We all knew that he had less than a year. Since then, my husband has spent every single night FaceTiming with his dad while I chase after our toddler by myself for most of the evening. Our weekends were spent at his parents' house. They live 2 hours away across the border in Canada. So we've easily spent zero time together for 6 months, and most evenings, I feel like a single mother. Throughout the time, his father is just slowly decaying. He needs way more attention and care than my toddler. So when we visit, I'm alone with my child again while my husband and his mother and his sisters are all tending to his father. Before his father got sick, we were talking about trying for baby number 2. I wanted to wait until his father passed because selfishly, I was thinking of what a difficult time it would be to become pregnant while chasing after a toddler alone with my grieving husband. The whole family grieving too. My reasoning to my husband was I didn't want him to feel torn between 2 families when I'm pregnant. I'll need him and us, but right now, his father needs him. He insisted everything would be fine, and finally I caved and got pregnant in January. All that said, his father has decided to end his life this Monday morning. Ooh, my husband is not handling it well and is already grieving a loss that hasn't happened yet. He does not handle loss well. Yesterday and today he has asked me to leave work early to go pick up our daughter so he can go home and drown his sorrows. This weekend and all of next week. I fully anticipate doing everything on my own and leaving him be because I can't tell someone how to grieve. My problem right now And where I might be an asshole is that I'm arguing with him for grieving in advance before it's even happened yet. And he swore to me months ago, when I didn't want to get pregnant yet, that I wouldn't be left to pick up the pieces. Now he's telling me I'm not understanding or being sympathetic when he's about to lose his father. So am I the asshole? Whew. Whew. That one's crazy. I I think that you're kind of the asshole. That's my opinion. I think that this person, I'll take this down now, just for now, so we can like see the chat. But yeah, no, I definitely think that the wife in this situation is a little bit of an asshole. She is, because again, this man is about to lose his father, and it's a pretty traumatic way to go. Watching someone you love just kind of like, as they said, decay in a bed. And it's hard to watch that. It's hard to know that that's going to happen. And cancer is a very, like, just a horrible way to go for a lot of people. And I think that she's not being sympathetic to that. Like, I absolutely understand where she's coming from, thinking like, I feel like I'm doing everything myself because my husband is like, just kind of like MIA because he's grieving. And I do think that it is wrong for her to be upset, or so upset about him, grieving something that's about to happen. Like, everybody grieves differently, and some people, they don't want to grieve. They're like, I'm gonna take the last, like however long I have with this person, and I am going to make the most out of it. And there are some people who just can't get it out of their head that I'm about to lose, someone precious to me. And so I understand absolutely where this woman's coming from. But I do think that she is being an asshole to an extent. And she has the right, to feel the way that she feels. She is now pregnant and she has, a toddler. And she just feels like nobody's helping her. My frames are dropping really bad. And, I understand where she's coming from. I really do. But it's just one of those things where it's like, this is your, like, this is a family member of your husband. This is his father. I think you could be a little bit more sympathetic. Like, I do feel like there are situations in life where you just kind of have to deal with it. Like, and I'm totally speaking from like this week and experience of this week, because if you guys didn't know, my grandfather is in the hospital right now, and they, at the beginning of the week, did not think that he was going to survive because he had to have a very big surgery. They did not think that he was going to live through the surgery. So this one, as especially right now, I can absolutely kind of like, sympathize with the husband in this situation. Because, like, if you're like, I'm only gonna have a little while left with this family member, you want to be by their side. You want to help them. You want to be with family. But, it's just tricky because I definitely feel like the woman is being a little bit of an asshole on this situation. You know? But let's read the comments, see how people in the comments let's see how the comments react. I will say this first comment that I see, I absolutely agree with, which is you are absolutely right in that he pushed for the pregnancy but promised that you wouldn't be on your own and is not holding up his end of the bargain. Yeah, exactly. And they say, but a long drawn out end of life scenario is something you can't really prepare for emotionally until it happens to you. It's most likely mean what he did, but it wasn't but he just wasn't able to meet the end of his agreements right now. It's possible that having this time to prepare will help him recover more quickly afterwards. Either way, he's speaking from a place of immense pain right now, and you're speaking of a place from exhaustion. I think this is actually not an asshole here because you're both under so much extra stress. Can you at least get a few hours of break over the weekend? Okay, there she just like saying like, hey, can you do that? There's a lot of people saying that you need to get some support, like to the woman in the story, that, like she needs some support, like maybe a friend or something, like, just like maybe talk to like a therapist or something, or maybe even confide in like her own like parents about the situation. Like, I don't know if you're someone, like who's close to the family, but like, yeah, I would definitely say, it's it's a hard thing to keep that in, because like that commenter said about the story, is that she's exhausted and he's, like, grieving. And I do think, like, him grieving early might be a good thing. you know Maybe it won't, be as, hard on him if he already comes to terms with the situation. And it's just one of those things where, like, I don't think anyone's necessarily in the wrong here, because you can't really judge, how grief is going to cloud your judgment. You make a decision to have a baby, you think you'll be okay, but then, things take a turn. You can't plan for that. It's something you cannot plan for. And I just think it's one of those things where, like, I do think she should talk to him. I think that she needs to communicate with him and tell him, like, hey, I know that you're going through it right now, and I completely understand, and you're valid for your feelings, but, I need help, Like, I think you need to talk it out with your husband. That's what I think. She needs to vent. Yeah. I definitely do think that she needs to vent. She needs somewhere that she can talk to someone about this, because she just seems like she's alone. And I mean, like, I would definitely even say, like, maybe, if you're close to your family or on good terms with her family, I would say, like, maybe ask, like, your own, like, parents if they could help. Or, like, maybe if you have a sister or, like, like a friend or something who can come and help you, maybe, like, ask them if they could come over and help, because, like, it's a hard time for your family. And when you have a hard time with family, the best thing to do is to just, like, genuinely get more family involved. Like, that is the best thing, is to just, like, have more family help out. It's a time where you should, kind of rely on family. But yeah, I don't think that she's the asshole. I'll say that. I don't think that she's fully an asshole, but she's verging on it. She's verging on it to me. But yeah. Let's see. Let's find another one. Let's see. I'm trying to open up my chat because it accidentally closed on my side on my screen. So I'm like, I gotta log into my email real quick. Email. Writing that down. Email. Email, please. Email. Okay, let's see. What else we got? Let's see. Ooh, this one's interesting. Huh. This one's interesting. This one is by middle_confidence40, who says, am I the asshole for telling my friend it's illegal to claim she's a realtor when she doesn't have a real estate license? I mean, I don't know about you guys. That sounds illegal to me. Like, I'm not a realtor or anything, but that sounds illegal to me. I don't quite like the sound of that, That sounds bad. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds bad. Also, I tried to sign back into my chat and it's not working. Like, what the heck? It's just like loading, and I'm like, hey, I need my chat, so I'm gonna have to pull you guys up on YouTube real quick. Because I'm like, I need to see what my chat are saying. If they say anything, I need to be there. Like, hello. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. But, yeah. Okay, well, let's read the story, because I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I said that, and then my frames decided to start dropping. Okay, from the title, I'll say, yeah, I definitely feel like you are a little bit of an asshole to the other person for claiming to be a realtor. Exactly, you can't just randomly say you're a realtor. You have to have a license for that. Like, that sounds like one of those things that you have to have a license for, because it's like, you could walk into anywhere. Like, that could be a safety issue. That could be safety stuff. But this is what the story says. My friend, 30-year-old female, Susie is the name they gave him. Or my friend Susie told me recently that she's been presenting herself as a licensed agent and realtor to people despite not having the complete licensed exam. She works with a licensed broker named Bob who handles the legal aspects of transactions, but she's still telling people that she's a realtor without having the credentials. I saw a text where she admitted this. I told her that misrepresentation is illegal and that falsifying a license is a serious offense. I explained that this could potentially get both her and Bob in trouble, since realtor is actually a protected term for members of the National Association of Realtors. She got defensive and said, I don't care, and it's not really a lie, and it's so minor. She claims just to use the term to make her brand sound more legit, and she's not proactively saying she's a realtor to people in town, but in an earlier message, she clearly said yes when I asked if she's telling people she's a realtor. She said she was sending a text to her friend reminding him that she is a realtor. She also stated on their brokerage, I think that's how you say that word, brokerage website, that she got her license in 2024. I recently saw this and said that you need to edit that out because you can't tell people you're a licensed agent, and she said she was planning to take it out. She eventually messaged saying that it seems like she struck a nerve and that she's not doing anything that puts Bob or our business at risk because he's not handling deals or writing offers. Or she's not handling the deals or writing offers. She ended up saying, LOL, I don't care, when I reminded her that misrepresentation and falsifying a license is illegal. I feel like I was just looking out for her by warning about potential legal consequences, but she's acting like I'm being ridiculous and overreacting. It makes me feel sick to imagine my friend deceiving people like this and to have complete disregard for the rules. To me, there is zero benefit to her lying. Am I the asshole for calling her out on this? What should I do here? Whew. I mean, yeah, look, we can all just say we're realtors, apparently. Yeah. You know what? Choco Pudding, I'm also a realtor. I can't believe it. Just two realtors here. I'm a self-proclaimed realtor now. I'm a realtor. Oh, can't get me in trouble because, I'm a realtor. Yeah, no, like that is so shit to say that. Like, honestly, like, I'm sorry, but yes, your friend is absolutely the asshole lady. Oh my god, are you kidding me? My chat just now logged me in. Over on my OAS. That's crazy. But yeah, no, absolutely. I think your friend is the asshole because whether it doesn't quote unquote hurt or anything, it's still illegal. And I do think that they were doing the right thing of telling your friend, like, hey, that's illegal. You could get not just yourself but your business partner in trouble. I think that's the thing that they need to really take into consideration, is that they could be hurting this other person. And I don't know if this quote unquote Bob, like, even knows. Maybe they know and they also don't care. Some people are just hard headed and they're not gonna care no matter what. Some people are just like that. They're like, nah, I don't care. You can't make me care, but you'll care when you get in trouble. That's the thing. It's always, oh, I don't care, until you actually have to face the legal consequences for your action. Then you're like, oh, I should have cared. And I think that the friend here, the one who is, like, writing this story, I think all they're doing is just trying to, like, help you out as a friend. Just trying to say, like, hey, that's, like, you could get in a lot of trouble for that. That's a good thing. That's a good friend looking out for you. And, like, I just think it's wrong, to claim that you are something that you're not, like that, especially in a professional, like, situation. Like, is it really hurting anyone? No, but it's just the aspect of, like, you didn't do the proper work to get the license, and so if I found that out and I was your client, I would not trust you. I would probably even report that, because that's just fishy sounding to say, like, like, oh, I'm claiming I'm a realtor, and they even seem to, like, put that, all over their, like, website from what I read, and basically, like, no. Like, you can get in trouble for claiming that you're something that you're not. So I definitely think that they are the asshole in this situation, and I think that this writer was a good friend. They were just trying to look out their friend. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can find any comments. Okay, let's see. This one says, not the asshole, but you'd be surprised how common it is. This happens in a ton of large brokerage that hire assistants that aren't fully licensed yet and put them to work under a real realtor who signs all the forms. And then someone said down below, unfortunately, that's not what's happening here. Her husband has his own I don't know if Bob was her husband or not, but somebody had his own brokerage. It's just him, and she recently joined his team to help out. Oh, this is okay. Never mind. Bob is the husband. It seems this is the writer of the story who says, unfortunately, that's not what's happening here. Her husband Bob has his own brokerage. It's just him, and she's recently joined his team to help out. Great. I was fully supportive. There's a ton that she can do without being licensed. The issue is that she's now proactively telling people she is a licensed realtor to gain credibility and make it sound like they have 2 agents on the team. Yeah. It does seem like it says it's common, but like, nah, I do feel like the writer says, what they're trying to do is just to be a good friend. And someone here says, you've repeatedly told her that what she's doing is wrong. You can't stop her doing that because she's hard-headed, but you can proceed with, just letting her do what she's going to do, or you can report her to the licensing board, whatever agency is responsible for realtors and misrepresentation issues. Yeah. I do think that this person overall was just being a good friend. Like, I don't think that they were saying anything out of malice or anything. I think that they were being a good friend. Just trying to say, like, hey, you could get in serious trouble if something, happens. I don't want to see that happen to you. But, like, I think it's wrong how the friend dismisses her like that. So, yeah, I'm going to say not the asshole, but your friend who's pretending to be a realtor is. That's my verdict. That's the Glitter M verdict. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Ooh. This one might get you sleeping on the couch tonight. This next story is, am I the asshole for telling my wife she can't cook, by rare_plastic 4708. And I'm not going to put it on the screen just because it's a lot of work for me. But, am I the asshole for telling my wife that she can't cook? See, here's my thing here. I have someone in my family who I know that I don't like their cooking. I don't think that they're a bad cook, but there's things that they could do better. Like, for example, this person does not know how to use seasoning. This person doesn't season, like, anything. They don't season anything. And so I'm like, I can't eat something that I don't think is tasty. And, like, I don't want to be mean or anything, so I just kind of suffer, or I say, like, oh, I'm not super hungry when this person cooks. Because I don't want to make them feel bad. I don't want to say, like, like, oh, yeah, I don't like your cooking. But there are things that you can say. You can be like, oh, like, next time, like, maybe you could, like, try using this spice. Maybe next time you could put this in the sauce or something. Like, a nice suggestion, Like, when my mom cooks, she'll often ask, like, rate her meal on, like, 1 to 10. And, she'll ask, like, is there anything that you think I could do better? Because my mom takes it as constructive criticism. Not just criticism. It's constructive, because she's like, I want to get better. I want to make things that my family, personally, they like. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah, this chicken's good. But, like, maybe next time, like, you could, like, put some, like some fresh garlic or something, mince it up. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that. Like, that's how I feel like more people should be. But I understand that, it's like when you're cooking, people tend to kind of, take it as a jab sometimes, because it's like, I spent all this time making this and you don't even like it, which it could just be a taste thing. But let's go ahead and read the story and see what it seems like it is. So, I, a 29-year-old male, have been with my wife, a 28 female, for 8 years, and meals are just about the only place of contention in our marriage, but I'm scared she's going to kill someone someday. Background: we split the cooking in our house 50-50, but when she cooks, I feel like I have to watch her like a hawk. She undercooks just about everything, especially meat. And no how matter how many times I tried to politely correct her, she says I'm just being picky. For example, every time she makes rice, I can't convince her it's 1 part rice to 2 parts water. She always says, "Are you sure? That seems like a lot of water." Or maybe that's how you like it, but I don't want it so mushy. The package and Google don't convince her either. And I just swallow my pride and eat the crunchy rice every time. Oh my god. I couldn't imagine. Oh my god. It's like that with everything: pasta, veggies, meat, bread. The thing is, I wouldn't care so much if it was just me, but she always wants to cook for our friends. She really prides herself on cooking and wants to make everything herself. I just trail behind her, trying to make sure it's all edible, but there's usually a few dishes that end up drastically oversalted or undercooked. Our friends will politely eat, but I've noticed they've been coming to fewer and fewer invitations for dinner. Things all came to a head the other night when she went to put on some chicken in the oven and I was hopping in the shower. When I came out, she had put the chicken out and said dinner was ready. I was skeptical and told her that it's been like 10 minutes. She said she pan-seared it first, so it was fine, but when I came to look, the sides were literally pink. I snapped a little and told her she's gonna kill someone one day from serving them raw meat. Can't you see that it's pink? That's food safety number one. She said she thought it was done, but it's not her fault. Her mother never showed her how to cook chicken growing up. I told her, "Well, you're almost 30. That's no excuse for not knowing how to cook at all." Needless to say, she was pretty upset with me, and I probably should have been nicer, but I've been nice about it for 8 years and nothing's changed. Am I the asshole? Whew. See, I feel like my mom for a long time, I feel like I can give this statement without my mom getting too mad, because I think my mom was a good cook now. But I feel like I'm the opposite with this story. Is for many years, my mom overcooked chicken. I couldn't eat the chicken that she made because it was so like overdone that it was just like rubbery and it was hard and like chewy and like you just couldn't eat it. And so like the thing is, I definitely do think I want to pull up a few points from the story. Is that it does say, her mom never told her how to cook, and the husband says that's no excuse. You're almost 30. You should like learn to cook. I think that's not acceptable to say, like, "Oh, well, my mom never showed me how to cook." I didn't learn to cook from my mom, and I'm not a great cook. I can do very basic things. Very, very basic. I don't even like cooking, but I learned cooking stuff. Like, if I want to make something, I watch a YouTube video. Everybody watches a YouTube video. It's like, you don't even have to know how to cook. You don't have to have anybody in your own personal life these days know how to cook. You can just Google a recipe and you can watch it. And they'll tell you what temperature, how it should look, how long to put the chicken in for. You don't need your mom to necessarily tell you how to cook. I think it's an excuse, and I definitely think that this person does not know how to take criticism. That's the big thing. Is I think that they're like so hell bent in their ways of cooking, and maybe they have this desire to prove themselves. But it's like, like you need to take it to heart when people say like, "Hey, you're gonna kill someone one day." Because yeah, exactly. How do you think pig chicken is safe to eat? Exactly, it's not. Like, I had sushi today. Sushi's okay. Chicken, no. Chicken, very, very bad if pink. And like, I just, no. No, like that is honestly, that's one of those things that you learn as a kid. Like, I learned from a very young age, pink chicken, don't eat it. Like there are certain things that you can eat if they're kind of pink, like, steak, medium well steak, that's fine. Sushi, that's fine. I mean, not to say that you might not get something, because there's always that thing. Like, I used to for many years, because I'm a huge sushi sashimi lover, like, I used to think for years, oh yeah, sushi's completely safe. But how? And that's when you do the research and you're like, well, it's not necessarily completely safe. Like if you get a bad batch, then you might end up getting food poisoning or something. It's not always completely safe. But, as long as it's pretty much stored right and like, there's food safety, then, it's majorly like safe to eat. But like yeah, like chicken is like the number one thing that you know not to eat when it's pink. And I do just think this person, I definitely feel like the wife, like she sounds like she's trying, but like I think a big part in trying to get better when it comes to cooking is that you need to take the advice that people are giving. You need to, like see things. Like for example, like I said with my mom before, my mom used to not be a great cook. Not gonna lie. And she even said like I don't even like when I cook food, I don't like to eat it. And obviously this is not a sponsor or anything, I'm just saying my mom actually started doing HelloFresh a few years ago, and HelloFresh taught her how to cook. Obviously, like I said, this is not a spawn thing, it's just genuinely it taught her how to cook and how to portion food, because HelloFresh is basically like you get a meat, you get a vegetable, and you get a carb. And so like she learned one portion sizes for dinner, because before it was like she would just like glob mashed potatoes and like corn and like here's a roll and here's some chicken, like no vegetables, because I didn't actually realize this, but corn is not as good of a vegetable as even though I think it is a vegetable, but it's not like one of the best vegetables for you to be eating from what I've heard. But I think it's a starch, right? I think corn is a starch. um but yeah, basically like mm, she just didn't really know how to portion stuff or cook meat because she overcooked it. And that's the thing, when she started doing HelloFresh too, she was like, I just don't feel like that's cooking long enough. But you know what? I'll trust it. And she trusted it finally. And she was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This chicken tastes amazing. And I'm like, yeah, that's how chicken's supposed to taste, mom. It's one of those things where like she just kind of had to like learn. That's the biggest thing, is she just kind of had to learn. And it's okay to, have cooking failures. I've had cooking failures a lot because like I said, I don't like to cook. I'm not a big fan of cooking. I don't like to cook. I like to eat, but I don't like to cook. And so I've had my fair share of cooking failures. And it's just one of those things where like if you want to get better at something, you have to keep practicing, but you do have to try to improve. Take criticism, it might not feel great to hear, but you should take it to get better, and especially if it's 8 years. And like it's just one of those things where I'm like, I think she should listen a little bit more, especially if friends of theirs are not wanting to come over to eat anymore, you know? Like, it's also just unsafe. The pink chicken is just unsafe. That is completely unsafe. Like, I'm sorry, but no. Okay, let's read the comments. Oh, someone said here's a suggestion. Maybe both of you take a basic cooking class together as some point of couples things. So yeah, that's honestly pretty good. I can see that. Like, maybe take one together. Yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. What else we got? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to read some comments, some good ones. Okay, this one says, mate, you've been patient for 8 years. That's a long time to be chewing on crunchy rice and dodging food poisoning. A lot of people are suggesting for the rice a rice cooker, which I also would suggest. I'm white. I'm white. Rice cookers, though, that's one of the best things. Rice cookers and air fryers are two of the best inventions ever created. Cause same, I'm not gonna lie. um, if you are maybe like Asian or something, just don't hate me for this, but like I'm not gonna lie, I did not know how to use a rice cooker or like a pot or anything for the majority of my teen years. So when I wanted like rice or something, I would get frozen bags of rice and I would microwave them. I'm so sorry. I would microwave the rice. And like that's just one of those things that like, I wasn't taught how to like do anything with cooking rice. And like the way that I always learned to cook rice is like you get the rice-a-roni because that's what we ate out of a box, and you just pour it into a boiling pot of water. That's what I always learned. But like, for making like, rice and rice pots, it's so different. Like the first time I ever made rice, I didn't even know that you had to wash it. I'm so sorry. There are gonna be people who are cringing at this, but like, I'm sorry. I had no idea that you were supposed to even wash the rice or anything. I just didn't know because I wasn't taught this. No one in my family was taught how to use a rice cooker. But there's this magical thing called the internet, and there's people on the internet who are like, I'm gonna teach you how to use this device. And guess what? I can make rice now. Like for example, when I'm at home, I love to make rice and vegetables. So I'll like make some rice, and I'll like cut up like some mushrooms, zucchini, um, some carrots and stuff, whatever kind of vegetables I have. I'll throw them together in a skillet, put like a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of gochujang, and like mix that up, put that on top of rice. That's what I eat because I like that. I love vegetables. I've always been a vegetable person more than a like a meat person. I don't love meat. I love vegetables though, especially if it's a little spicy. Love it. And I just love rice bowls. Like I just love rice. I had rice for dinner. I had rice and like curried chicken and vegetables for dinner. I just love rice bowls. They're good. They're a perfect source of like you got your carbs. If you get like, meat, you got your protein and you got your vegetables. It's like a perfect little meal. I love rice bowls. But yeah, I before I knew that rice cookers existed, because like I said, I'm from the yeehaw south. We didn't have a rice cooker. Before I learned about rice cookers, I microwaved frozen rice. I microwaved frozen bags of P.F. Chang's white jasmine rice, and that's what I had to eat. I'm so sorry if that makes anybody cringe. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, but yeah. Don't hate me for that. That's my secret. I've told you my secret, so yeah. Oh, could you hear my drink? Listen. Nom 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 nom. Ban? No, you can't ban me. I'm the streamer. You can't ban me. I'm the streamer. You can't ban me. You can't ban me because I used to microwave frozen bags of rice. I didn't know any better. Like for me, I had to because like my parents worked full time when I was in like middle school, high school, so I had to basically fend for myself like at least like out of 7 days, like 5 days, maybe 4 days if my mom was off during the week. Like I had to fend for myself for dinner, because like I feel this feels so sad now that I'm saying it, but I mean, I was chill because, like I came home, I didn't have any homework because I would take a free period class at school, like art or like business or something where you just had to show up and get a grade. But I would take like those classes, so I would do my homework at school. So I didn't have any homework when I came home. So I'd come home, I'd eat a little snack, maybe take a nap, and then I'd play video games for the rest of the night. Like I played The Sims 4 and Wizard 101 for the rest of the night. Threw something in the microwave, like a TV dinner or like a pizza or something. Threw that in the microwave. Because like my parents didn't get home till like at the latest, like at least 9:30. And I was like probably like getting ready to go to bed at that point. And like yeah, I didn't cook a lot. And I just kind of had to fend a lot growing up, so I just kind of threw together whatever we had at the house because that's all I had. I just threw whatever I had into the microwave. Hi Farina fan, welcome. Good evening, I hope you're doing well. We're just reading some of the Reddit Am I the Asshole stories because I like to yap about them. Let's see, let's actually find another one. Let's see. Let's start a fresh one. Let's see. Let's see. I want one that's a little bit different, like something that's a little bit different. I wish that they would tell you, like, if someone actually is the asshole in that situation. Because I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh, am I the asshole for asking my mom to pay to attend my wedding? Oh, this is by Orange OK 4880. Interesting. Pay your mom. Oh, I did. I watched a little bit of that video. That was super funny. I love that. That was such. I don't know how I haven't seen that video before. Like, I've been in the Genshin fandom for years. I don't know how I've never seen that, but that was funny. I didn't watch the full video because I did have to just like go to sleep. But I'm gonna finish it probably after this stream or something because I'm gonna go eat some more food because I had a tiny little bowl of my rice and curry stuff that I mentioned earlier because I couldn't stomach a lot earlier because my stomach was upset, and I'm like, curry not really helping right now because it's a little spicy. But yeah, I'll definitely watch the rest of it after stream. But yeah, it was super funny. I love the voice acting. Okay, let's see. So, am I the asshole for asking my mom to pay to attend my wedding? So they are getting married and they're asking their own mother to pay to come to the wedding. Hmm. Huh. Like, for me, for example, just right off the bat, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good to see right off the bat that you are charging your mother to come to your wedding. And like I'll be like understanding cuz like maybe you're not in good settings with your mom, but like just from like the title alone, I feel like there's a little bit of asshole vibe here, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they say here. So, this person says, my mom chose to abandon her parental rights when I. Oh, okay, yeah, I get that. My mom chose to abandon her parental rights when I was 10 months old to be with a man she met and moved states away. She came back into my life when I was 4 after they broke up and was in and out of my life my entire childhood. When she would come back into my life, she was extremely abusive both emotionally and physically. My father was also not perfect. He was an alcoholic, and I had been put into foster care a few times, and my mom never showed up to any of the court dates. When I was 14, she found God and remarried an extremely hardcore religious man she met at church. Her husband always hated me, told me I couldn't live with them because I didn't follow the path of God. They never helped me with anything financially. She never even paid child support. Fast forward to 2 years ago, her and her husband have 3 daughters aged 12, 10, and 7 as of right now. My mom asked me to buy her a restaurant for $25K. It started to get to the point where she was begging me, telling me that it was a great business investment and she had so many offers but wanted to keep it in the family. She said I would be making $100,000 a year. She didn't know her husband had texted me months earlier saying that the business was failing and that he wanted me to help turn their business around. I told her I was sick of her only contacting me when she needed something. Then she had my sisters to call me and leave me voicemails asking why I was ignoring them and wouldn't come to visit. Ugh. I got engaged in June of last year, and my fiance's family offered to put in $15K for the family. My dad matched that, and my fiance and I are putting in around $10K. My fiance has a huge family, and I only have about 10 people on my dad's side. My mom found out about the wedding from Facebook and offered to fly out my aunts, her daughter, and both of her grandparents. They all live in Thailand, so I was really grateful to be able to have them here. I've always had a pretty good relationship with them and wouldn't be able to afford to pay for all their flights here without her. I was ready to bury the hatchet just to have them attend. My dad's family made it very clear that they didn't want to pay for her and her family. I asked if she could pay for herself, her husband, and her family, and she told me that she could only give me $1,000 because she has to pay for her kids' private school, with catering, bar, rentals, and everything being around $200 to $250 a person. When I told her this, she said that I should accept that everything would be paid off by the gifts from guests. I don't want to seem ungrateful and selfish for telling my own mom and family that they can't come to my wedding because they won't give us enough money. But I really don't want to have other people, especially my father, pay for her to be there when she's never helped me with anything in the past. Am I the asshole for telling her that she can't come unless she gives us more money? Whew. Ooh. So, for me personally, from the get go, I don't even think this should be about money. I think that this should be about, like your mom was not there for you. Do you really want to have her at the wedding? Do you really want to have someone who, was abusive and then married someone else who was abusive to you at your wedding? That's what I'm thinking about. Like, do you really want to see them on what should be one of the happiest days of your life? Do you want to see them? I think that's more important. I'm putting on chapstick. I think that's more important than the money, for the wedding. But also, yeah, I would not be paying for them to come. Like, for me personally. And they did say that they were coming from Thailand. So I don't know how much flights are. And I don't necessarily know that much about, like, cultures. But for me personally, I know a little bit about weddings. For me, if I got married, I would not want a big wedding. And for me personally, if it was me, I would be like, if you want to come to the wedding, buy your own ticket. I'm not flying you out. I'm not even going to get someone to drive you here. If you're going to come, you're going to come of your own accord. Unless it's like, like my mom or something. Like, for example, I live with my mom now, but if it was a situation where I was getting married and, like, let's say my mom, was, in another, state or something, if I really wanted my mom there, which I would, because I would want my mom at my wedding, because my mom has always been there for me. She was a single mom who provided everything for me. She's done a lot for me. I want my mom to be there. So for me, I could see, yes, you deserve to be here because you deserve to see this happen. This only happened because of you, like, you birthed me. Can't have the wedding without me, So for me, I'd be like, yeah, no, I want you to be here. So I would see in that situation, it would be reasonable and justified for me, in my opinion, to fly, a family member out. In this story, and in this case scenario, your mom and that side of the family, I won't count the kids because, like, they're kids. They might not understand the situation, so I'm not going to take a dig at them. But, like, at least your mom and, like, I'm assuming your stepdad, since she remarried, I don't think that you should be paying anything for them whatsoever. Because they did nothing for you. They weren't there for you like they should have been. And I think, honestly, should you even really invite them? Like, I get that that's, like, one of your parents, but, like, blood isn't always, what makes a family. Just saying, that's my opinion, but, obviously that's up to, the person who wrote this. But let's see some of the comments. Some of the comments says, her money's not even worth it, talking about her mom. She's lucky she even got an invite to your wedding. Or she didn't get an invite. The mom found out on Facebook. But yeah, and yeah, people keep saying, do you even really want her there? I personally wouldn't ask her to pay, but I wouldn't invite her. It seems like she's more trouble than it's worth. Yeah, exactly. That's where I kind of agree. Yeah, that's exactly where I agree. Is like, would you even want her there? Because, like, she might be your mom, but, she never act like your mom, And someone said, but why do you want your abusive egg donor at your wedding? Exactly. Why would you want something like that there? Just saying. Just saying. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, this is like the top comment that says, let's see, did you invite all of your Thai relatives or did your mom? If you invited them but your mom is paying for all their travel, then I think requiring her to pay for catering is a bit much. But if you invited them but assumed most would not come because of the travel costs and now have more guests and a higher budget than you assumed, then it's on you. And if she's invited herself and also invites these Thai relatives, then she's totally at fault here. And it does look like the okay, yeah, I'm just trying to scroll down to find. It looks like the person who is the author of this story invited the mom, and the mom went out and invited more people. So to that, I would say that's on the mom. That's very selfish to, like, and the thing is, she didn't even get a proper invite because she found out her daughter was getting married through Facebook. If you're not invited to the wedding, then why do you, one, think that you can just invite more people to come when you weren't even invited yourself? And two, it's incredibly selfish when you weren't even invited to think that, the person who is getting married, the day that it's supposed to be, the person that the day is supposed to be about, why do you expect them to pay for you when they didn't even give you an invite? That's just very selfish to me. But yeah. Someone says she doesn't have the right to be called mother. She does not. Absolutely not. Let's see. Okay, let's see if there's any others. Let's see. I want something that's a little bit different, so let's see. I want something that says like some of them are rated like not the a-hole. I want to see one that is. you know? Oh, this one's different. This one is by Meow Meow 2006. Am I the asshole for not telling the sub in our class how to pronounce my name? Cause like at first I'm like, how would that even make you an asshole? Like maybe I just need to read the story to see how it's going. But I'm trying to think like, how would that make you the asshole if someone else like mispronounces your name? Like I don't think that would make you an asshole. Like it might be like a shock or something to the sub if they find out that like my name's Emily, if they've been calling me like Amelia or something. Then like maybe they might be like, oh, huh, whoops, it might be a little embarrassing or something. But like I don't know how that would make you an asshole. But let's see. The story says, we had a substitute teacher today, and while taking attendance, she asked if she was pronouncing my name correctly. I told her she could pronounce it however she wanted. Not to be rude, but because I genuinely don't know how to say it myself, I have an ethnic name, but no one, not even my family, calls me by it. I was given an alias since I was 3 years old. Despite that, I was called disrespectful and sent out of the class? What? To clarify, I did tell her my alias. Conversation went like this. Sub says, name, is that how you pronounce it? Me, yes, you can pronounce it however you want. Sub, okay, so how do you pronounce it? Me, I'm not sure, I don't go by that name and no one in my class calls me by that name either. Sub, what? Me, I go by alias name. Sub, but what's on the paper is name. Silence. Sub says, you can leave for being disrespectful. The fuck? Edit again says, I only included the part where she could pronounce it because she was going around asking everyone with difficult names how to pronounce it. I said it to be accommodating, but I can see how it could come off as otherwise. Probably my last edit and last time I responded to comments. Thanks for all the advice. Okay, whatever. I already know that. For me, I feel like that's just a big misunderstanding. Like, I don't know anything about this teacher, obviously, but it sounds like they got too frustrated. Like how there's some teachers out there who I'm like, I don't think that you should be a teacher. There are some people who don't have the patience to work with kids. And I went to school. I went to public school. I went to the Yeehaw. I've seen a lot. And there are some kids who drive the nicest teachers, the nicest people to their breaking point. That's just how it is. And, it's like some kids will do that, but there's also some teachers, I've had subs before, who they are just from the get-go the nastiest person. It's like, if you don't like kids, why are you working with kids? And this is how it feels. Like, if you don't like teenagers, why are you working as a substitute? that's how this feels, because they seem like they're very quick and snappy, and I don't like people like that. Like, and I do think from the situation, you explained it well. I have never, like, I have a very white girl name that, everyone can pronounce. But, like, I've had, like, instances where, like, my friends, like, I have some friends who are Hispanic, and teachers have been like, how do I say your name? And they're like, oh, I don't go by that. I go by, like, a shortened abbreviation. Like, am I gonna call out one of my friends? Yes. Because I remember this happening. But one of my friends, her name is My Early, but she goes by Maya. And so the teacher, I remember a teacher was like, so how do I say your name? And she was like, oh, just call me Maya. Nobody calls me my actual name. And they were like, oh, okay, you're Maya. You know how easy that is? If someone tells you, oh, that's my name, but I don't go by that name, why is this teacher making such a big deal out of it? It's like, huh. That just feels weird to me, how like the teacher was like, I want your actual name. It's like, who cares? No one is going to know who you say, like that, like your proper name. No one in the class is going to know you by that name. They know you by your nickname or your alias, whatever name you're using. Like, what? Like, that just feels weird to me. That feels really weird to me, how like the teacher was just so hell-bent on like, tell me your real name. Like, no. No. That's so weird to me. But yeah, let's read the comments. Let's see. Let's see. As a teacher, this sounds like not an asshole, but it sounds like a miscommunication. Exactly. The sub probably gets kids messing with them all the time and thought that that's what you were doing because your answer was pretty weird and unexpected. I don't know that I quite agree with that one. I don't think that their answer was weird or unexpected. I think they were just saying, oh yeah, like, well, okay. Maybe I can understand this, because they were like, yeah, I don't even really know how to pronounce my own name. That does sound kind of fishy. I would have just said like, oh, like, like, I don't actually know how to pronounce my actual name, because like, like nobody calls me by that name, so just call me this name. Everybody knows me by this name. Just kind of leaving it there. Maybe instead of saying like, yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce my own name. That I will say that does sound a little fishy, because like, I can understand where this teacher is saying like, yeah, this sub was probably like messed with before and they just weren't having it, which again, I understand. But I definitely think that you, as a teacher, need to have a little bit of patience. Like, absolutely, there are teenagers who are mean. There are very mean teenagers. Trust me, I went to school with some. But like, the thing is, I just feel like they jumped the gun. That's the best way that I can put it, is that this teacher, I feel like they jumped the gun with their response. But anyway, let me read a couple more. But yeah, I don't like that they sent them out of the classroom. Okay, you get some people in the comments who are like, I don't know how you don't know how to pronounce your own name. And like, there's a lot of people saying that like, like, I just, I don't know. Like, there's this one story that I see down here where a commenter says like, like, I'm half white, half like another race, and I just, I don't know how to say my name because I live with, like, for example, the white parent. Like, that's something that happened. Friend has a pretty name that is spelled. That actually kind of ties in, because this friend, she's half Mexican and half white, but she lives with her mom who is white, and so her name, just to spell it, it's Mayerli, Mayerli, but she goes by Maya. So I can kind of see this, because like, this was my best friend in high school. So I'm like, like, I'm just kind of thinking about it like from what I've experienced with her. But like, like, that's one of those things the teachers are always like, like, tell me your name, and she's like, just call me Maya. Everybody calls me Maya. Nobody calls me by my legal name. you know And like it could just be that, it could just be like, the kid genuinely just doesn't know how to say their proper name, or like maybe, like I know in certain languages there's tones, maybe they just don't know how to say it pronouncedly. My tongue no work. Maybe they just genuinely don't know how to properly pronounce it. And like I know some people who maybe they just feel uncomfortable by their like given name for whatever circumstance. I think definitely this was a miscommunication on both parts. And I do think that the way that the kid who said this here, maybe they just worded it wrong, because the teacher probably felt like they were playing a prank or something. But I also feel like the teacher should have had a little bit more patience before jumping the gun and sending them out of the classroom, because that really sucks. That's one of those things about being a kid in high school or like middle school, even in elementary school, when like you haven't done anything wrong and you feel like you've been wronged because the teacher's like, no, I don't like that response. Get out of this classroom. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. Like I have a story about that. When I was in the third grade, we were playing a game of Heads Up 7 Up, and if you don't know, it's one of those games where like you have a couple people who are like quote unquote the taggers, and they come up to the front of the classroom, and basically everybody will put their head down on the desk and raise up their thumb. And so if you have like a couple people, like maybe 2 or 3 people who are the taggers, and they'll go around and they'll like touch somebody's finger, and then whoever had their finger touched, they have to kind of try to guess who touched their finger, and then if they get it right, then they get to swap places. And our class loved to play that game. And there's this boy who liked me, and he pulled a prank where I was the tagger, and one of my friends was like, go tag him, he'll never guess you because you like him, and or he likes you and you've said that you don't like him. And so I was like, okay, I'll touch his finger or something. And like I go over there and I very lightly touched his finger, but he knew it was me, and I knew that he knew it was me because he kicked me with his foot. He knew it was me because he was peeking, because he was cheating. But anyway, he was like the troublemaker kid, so go figure. But anyway, he basically started like fibbing, saying like, oh my god, whoever touched my finger, like they hurt my finger, they pushed my finger so far back, it hurts really bad now. And I'm like, what the fuck, I did not touch your thumb that hard. And like the teacher was like, okay, who did it, who touched his finger, I want to know who. And I'm like, it was me. And then the teacher's like, I am so sick and tired of you kids not knowing how to properly play a game. You people ruin it for everybody. Basically, like kids, like you just ruined it for everybody, Emily. No, just go sit down. And literally the other kids up there, they're like, she didn't even touch it that hard. Like one of my friends was literally watching, and she was like, she didn't do it, like she barely touched his finger, calm down, lady. And like even the boy, because again, he liked me and he was just trying to play like a prank on me, and like obviously the prank was wrong. He went a little bit too, a little bit too hard with that, I guess. But anyway, even he was like, I'm just joking, teacher. Like, I'm just joking. I'm just trying to, like, get a rise out of her. Like, no, like, she didn't hurt me. I'm good. But she was so mad at me. I went to the hallway because she sent me out and I cried. And the principal came by when I was out there crying. And I told him what happened. And, like, he pulled the teacher out of class with me. And I explained it. And like I said, like, both my friends in that class and the boy even said that, like, like, she's just, like, she didn't do anything. Because I was not a troublemaking kid. I'm very sensitive. I don't get in trouble because I can't take it. I just can't. I'll break down and I'll cry. And, like, the teacher did apologize. She was like, I'm sorry. I was a little mad. I'm sorry. And I'm like, I don't fucking care if you're mad. You hurt my feelings. I'm telling my mommy. And so I told my mom. And I probably just made the situation worse, because she's like, the teacher's like, I've already apologized to your daughter about that. I am sorry again. And then that teacher, like, she hated me ever since that, because I told my mom, and my mom called up there, and we had to rehatch this whole situation again, because my mom went mama bear mode. But I was like, Mom, this bitch made me cry at school. But yeah, like I said, some teachers genuinely, they jump the gun, And, like, I understand they're people too. They've got things that go on too in their lives. Like, they have stress. But I just don't think it's right as a teacher or as a sub to take that out on the kids that you are supposed to be teaching. I don't think that's right. I think you need, like, you're the adult in this situation, okay? You're the adult. You need to act like the adult. And I know, once again, everybody's got things in their life that happens, but you need to be professional. You need to understand that these are kids. And, like, it's okay to let your emotions, like, maybe get over the best of you sometimes, but an honest apology is probably the best. And this woman, she only apologized to the teacher. I was 9. She only apologized to me because the principal was like, why the hell did you yell at her over this? Like, all the kids in here are, like, vouching for her. Like, if she actually did something wrong, they would be telling on her. These are 9-year-olds. And everybody was like, nah, Emily wouldn't do that. Stop. Because literally, I was the book kid. I've always been the book kid who just sits there, minds my own business, and reads books. And I'm like, I literally didn't even do that. Stop it. I'm gonna cry. Like, over here crying. And the teacher's just like, whatever. And the principal's like, no, not whatever. Apologize. And, like, anyway, that teacher hated my guts because I got her ratted out to the principal not once but twice. She deserved it. She was a bitch. Anyway. I remember in high school, some kids started vaping right in front of the sub. Honestly, the subs at my school deserve way more. Genuinely, that's one of those things. Like, I thought that I wanted to be a teacher. Nah, I could not handle it. I don't think I could handle dealing with kids. I really don't think I could. I absolutely agree. I think not just subs, but teachers in general as well, they deserve way more money for what they have to deal with in schools. Schools just aren't safe anymore. And kids, especially with social media, people, like, filming teachers and, like, making, like, creepy things. Like, I remember somebody made a whole fan account for one of our teachers. Like, it was so weird. Like, he was one of those cool teachers, who, like, everybody liked, and, like, he got along with everyone, but, like, someone took it too far, and they, like, made a fan account for him, and, like, basically, like, this was during the rise of K-pop, when K-pop just started, like, getting, like, mainstream. They made, like, your typical, like, K-pop fan account, like, oh my god, Mr. So-and-so is my bias, I love him so much, just making, like, thirst traps of this teacher, taking sneaky photos of him in the classroom, and it's like, that's weird, that's creepy, and especially if that gets views, that is so weird to do. You don't have his consent to do that. Like, I don't think it's, wrong to ask your teacher, like, hey, would you be okay to be in, like, a TikTok or something with me? That's different. But to sneakily take videos and pictures of someone, that is stalking. That is illegal. That's creepy. And, like, I also remember this one situation with one of our teachers, because I never had her. She wasn't one of my teachers, but she was this really young, like, early 20s, very pretty blonde Ukrainian lady, and she was young. She was dating a man at the time, and eventually they got married. But, like, before they got married and she started working at our school, all the boys used to hit on her. People literally used to, like, make inappropriate jokes about her because she was, like, probably, like, 25, 26 or something, and, like, she's, teaching, like, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, she taught, like, the last couple of grades. I don't think she taught freshmen and stuff, but then she got married, and then she got pregnant, and she got pregnant very soon after they got married, and so I just remember the boys making disgusting comments about her, and, like, saying things like, I could have been the baby daddy, it's like, no, you couldn't have. Fat chance, bro. Like, just fucking disgusting things. And it's like, she doesn't deserve that. None of the teachers deserve that. Like, kids are evil these days. Really, genuinely, they are. They're evil, and I hate them. I hate the mean teenagers. I'm sorry. I was a teenager once, but one thing I would never do is, like, film my teacher and make thirst traps of him and, post him on TikTok. And one of the videos, oh my god, I actually remember, like, one of the videos did really well. It got a lot of views, and somebody else found it from our school, and they reported the account of the person who, like, to our school, our faculty. They reported it, about, like, the thirst trap video, and, that person I think they got suspended, and then they got moved out of that person's class, that teacher's class. But yeah, teachers deserve more respect than what they get, to be fair. They really do. Num num num. Let's see. What else? What else we got? What other ones we got? I want something that says, like, asshole. What is this? Not the asshole poo mode? What is poo mode? What is poo mode? Not the... I'm looking it up. Poo mode. What does that mean? What is poo mode? Oh, poo mode is something moderators can activate when a thread is getting out of hand. Huh. Proctologist is what they're labeled. Okay, that's funny. We're gonna read that one because poo mode. That's the only reason I'm reading this, is because poo mode. I was interested. I was invested with the poo mode. I saw poo and I was like, ooh. Ooh. So this one is by Tossaway Lebu. Wow. Wahoo. My frames are dropping so bad. Yo. 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 Can y'all see me now? Am I okay now? Okay, I think I'm okay now. I think it's okay now, but oh my god. Oh my god, my frames dropped so bad right there. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Also, hello. Oh my god, I've been like monitoring my Twitch side. Hello, YouTube. 10 viewers, hello, welcome. Welcome in, welcome. I'm so sorry that you had to see me kind of glitch out there. I apologize, but that was a very bad internet, nasty spell. But I'm back, don't worry, I'm here. The magic has led me come back. My magical hat has made me come back. But okay, I'll read the title again. Am I the asshole for refusing to take care of my husband's medical equipment? For me personally, just by the title, I don't think so. Maybe if it's the case of, like, like your husband isn't able to, like, maybe he just has a medical issue where he's not able to take care of his equipment. Then maybe I could see that. But if it's just like a negligence kind of thing, then no. But I definitely think it's one of those stories where you're gonna have to, like, kind of read it. So yeah, let's read it first and then I'll judge it, because this one feels iffy. So let's see. So my husband, 42 male, and I, 41 female, are having a disagreement. Here's the situation. He uses a CPAP machine at night. He's had it for 15 years and never puts it away in the morning. He's decided that it's my responsibility to take care of it and prevent the children or our pets from touching it. He says it's unreasonable for him to put it away every morning, even though there are many, many things the kids and I use and put away every single day. He insists that other things of his are being left where it's convenient for him, even if it makes life harder for the rest of us. Example, he will leave his shoes under the kitchen table and tells me that I should just not clean the floor there so that his shoes don't get moved. He goes to great lengths to make life easier for himself, even if it means putting more difficulty on me and our children. Last night, our cat got into our bedroom and chewed on the hose for his CPAP machine. I didn't know it until we went to bed, and my husband freaked out. He demanded to know why I wasn't watching the machine and why I had let it get ruined. Then he decided he wants to lock me and the kids out of our bedroom when he leaves for work every morning. I said absolutely not. Our second bathroom is only accessible through the bedroom. All my things are in the bedroom, and that would leave me out of access to any of my things during the day unless I cleared out everything from my room and the second bathroom, which is where I also keep my makeup and other personal things, which to me seems totally unreasonable. I told him that he should put away his own CPAP machine every morning. He says that it's unreasonable for him to do as it's an annoying task and that he shouldn't have to put anything he owns away. I really feel like he should be responsible for his own things and that it's unreasonable for him to lock me out of my own room. Okay, off the bat, your husband's an asshole. let me just write that down real quick. I'm a doctor. If apparently you can just tell people that you're a realtor, if you were here at the other end of the stream, you understand the joke. But if you can tell people that you're just a realtor, no license, I can tell people I'm a doctor with no education or license. So Dr. Glitter M is going to prescribe you a case of your husband's the asshole. Take that to CVS, get that prescription. Get that CVS prescription. He is an asshole. Imagine the audacity. He is extremely out of touch if he thinks that he can't put something away. It's like, I'm sorry, but I come from a household where it's like the one rule is if you mess it up, you clean it up. That is like the biggest rule in my household. So like, for example, if I, want to cook something, if I want to cook me like scrambled egg or something. I want a scrambled egg. I'll go to the kitchen. I'll, get my little pan, crack an egg, maybe put some butter in the pan, then crack my egg. I'll fry up an egg, scramble the egg, put it on a plate. If I leave my pan there, you think my mom isn't gonna beat my ass? No. Be for real. The only thing that is required of me, is to take that pan, wash it up, and then just let it dry. And then just whenever I'm in the kitchen next, I'll put it up. You know how easy that is? It's exactly what this guy can't do. I know that CPAP machines, they're huge, they're big machines. And I said, I come from a household that's very organized. My mom has OCD, and it drives all of us crazy. Not gonna lie. It drives us all crazy. Because it's not if you know someone with OCD, it's not just this, oh, I just have to be clean. Everything has to be clean. In my mom's case of OCD, it's obsessions. It's she gets obsessed, and her obsession has just always been the house. She's I can't sleep at night if something is out of place. If I put something somewhere and someone moves it, it drives me insane. And so, for us, for example, we've just become accustomed in this house that if I pick it up, I put it back down. If I use it, I clean it, and then I put it away. And I'm not gonna lie. Can I find this man's age? 42. I'm 22. I am 20 years younger than you, and I have learned a valuable lesson that you should have learned at my age or younger, sir. That's what I'm saying. I think it's incredibly selfish to ask, your wife to put up, something that's yours. Yes, it's a medical thing, but it's yours. It's yours. You should take care of it. Do you just when you get into a shower, do you take your clothes off and then just throw them in the floor? Or do you pick them up and put them in the laundry? I hope you do. I hope you're not just stripping and leaving your underwear and then just waiting for someone else to come up and pick them up, because that's so gross. If you go out to eat somewhere, if I go out, just, I don't know, what's a common place? McDonald's. Let's say McDonald's. Just about everybody knows McDonald's. It's a huge fast food chain. It's all over the world. If I go to McDonald's and I get food, we know that you're not supposed to leave your food on the table when you're done with it. You don't leave your trash there. They have trash cans. You pick the food up, you put it in the trash can. Does this dude just leave all of his food there or something? I'm sorry, this makes me so incredibly mad to leave something that is your own and expect someone else to then clean up after you and get mad and lock someone out of their own room. Like, here's the thing, if you are, like, especially if you're married, I think, but if you are in a relationship with someone where you share a room, you share it. Share. You are sharing this room. And so I think that you absolutely do not have the right to lock her from her own things, because like it says, she's got her makeup and, like, her clothes and stuff in this bedroom. You don't have the right to lock her out while you're at work, because your little, your, well, I guess I was gonna say your little possession, it is a CPAP machine, which is, for health. I get that, but also it's not that hard to just put it up. Like, I'm assuming they probably have, like, either maybe a drawer or maybe a closet or something, because I know it is pretty big, and, it's a hassle. I get that, but it's also like, what if it was just you? What if you were alone? Like, if they were alone, they'd probably just leave it there. Let's be real. They'd probably just leave it on the bed. Maybe he would even like it. I don't know, but in my opinion, I think it's incredibly rude to expect someone to, put something else up for you. And especially if you treat them like that afterwards, being like, how dare you let this cat in? Like, one, they didn't let the cat in. It's an animal. You can't really control what they're going to do. Animals can be destructive at times. That's just how it is. You don't have the right to lock your wife out of her room because, like, an animal got to your belongings or something and ruined them. Like, I'm sorry. I know that's a lot of money. I know it's a medical thing for you, but, like, it's still, like, you're an asshole for treating your wife like that, my guy. You're an asshole for it. Yeah, man, just clean up after yourself. Exactly. It's not that hard. It's really not. And, again, I understand this is a medical thing. I get it. I have a family member who has a CPAP machine. They're huge. I've seen it. They're huge. And, it sucks that it got damaged, but it's also like, if you want something to stay in good shape and it's yours, make sure that you take care of it. If you want something to stay pristine, put it in a place where you know that it's going to stay pristine and, like, animals or kids or whatever won't touch it, That's just, even with the shoes, like, it does say something about his shoes up here somewhere. It says, he insists on that others leave his things alone, and that he leaves things where it's convenient for himself, where he leaves his shoes under the kitchen table and tells me that I should just not clean the floor so his shoes don't get moved. That's just a case, ma'am, let me write you another prescription. Your husband is a man-child. If you can't clean up after yourself, I'm sorry, but I don't see how you could possibly leave your shoes under the dining table. Like, I grew up in a house where, once again, I'm white, but we always wear slippers or socks. We don't let our shoes come in the house. And that started in our family just because my grandpa works on cars, and so he's, like, covered in motor oil. He'd come in and get the carpet all dirty, and my grandma would just, like, keep cleaning it and cleaning it and cleaning it until eventually she's like, no more shoes in my house. And then everyone just kind of adopted that. And so in my house, we don't wear shoes. We wear socks. Slocks. We wear slocks. We wear socks or slippers because it's cleaner and you're not dragging in indoor debris or anything, Slocks, yes, slocks. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why did I say slocks? I don't know. But yeah, like, I just think if you can't clean up after yourself, the thing that I've always heard from my grandma is, if you can't clean up after yourself, you don't deserve to move out. That's something that I've always heard from her. That's my yeehaw grandma's thing, is like, she's like, adults deserve to, like, get their own house or their own place, Slocks, yeah. My grandma's always been like, because, like, I remember her telling my uncle this, because he used to live with us when I was little. I lived with my grandparents. My mom, she was a single mom, and then my uncle stayed with us for a little bit, and she always used to tell my uncle, she was like, because he would complain about things that, how she runs her house. Like, he would want to wear the shoes in the house, and she's like, you ain't doing that. This is my house, my rules. And she's like, I went to nursing school. I was a nurse for many, many years. I am the one who paid this house off. Your mechanic grandfather did not pay this house, or his dad. He did not pay this off. I paid this house off. This is my house. She girl bossed, but she was like, this is my house. I paid it off. You're gonna abide by my rules. And so I just remember him complaining about it and her being like, adults clean up after themselves. And if you can't clean up after yourself, then you don't deserve to have your own place. And I'm sorry, but like, that might sound mean, but like, genuinely, I don't understand why this person thinks, this man in this story thinks that everybody else should just, you know, abide by his standards of what he wants, which it just feels lazy to me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lazy person. I'm a very, very lazy person. I like to, do things the easy way, I like things the easy way. I like to, leave stuff where it's convenient. When I go get my car, I'll like take my keys, and sometimes I'll leave them on like inside of my bag instead of putting them on a hook, or like I'll leave them on the table or something if I come in with like food or something. It's like, I'll leave my stuff sometimes wherever it is, especially if I'm just going back out. Like, for example, if I come in, I got some food, I put my keys on the like dining room table, I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave and go like to the get gas or something in an hour or two. I'll come back. That's lazy. If my mom sees it, she's gonna be upset because she's like, the keys have a place, put them in the place. And that's just one of those things. It's like, I'm lazy. I don't like to, like go out of my way to clean. My mom knows that I'm a lazy person because, like I said, she's got really bad obsessive OCD with like cleaning and stuff. And like, it doesn't help that she tortures herself by watching like Hoarders, because it makes her want to get up and clean even more. But like, she's like, everything has to be exactly the way I want it. If there is literally anything, like if someone puts a fork in the sink, like we have a dishwasher and we use our dishwasher. If the dishwasher is full or running and you put a dish in the sink and you don't wash it yourself, she'll get mad. She's like, it's one dish, just wash it off while the dishwasher is in session. And it is annoying sometimes, especially if I'm sick or I don't feel good. I'm like, just let me put my bowl in the sink, there's water in it, just leave me be. But like, I think it's a good skill to learn to, take care of the space that you're in. That's only gonna benefit you. But like, yeah, genuinely, this guy gives me bad vibes. Okay, let me read the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So someone in the comments says, so this isn't even about the CPAP. You've been his maid for 15 years. He doesn't have to put anything away. He does whatever he doesn't have to take care of his stuff, and he doesn't care if it makes it more difficult for you to clean the floor, and won't even put his freaking shoes away. Sorry, but this isn't okay. Someone in the comments also says, I would have chewed on that CPAP machine myself. That's so funny. Oh my god. That's so funny. Yeah, exactly. Someone says he has no respect for you. Exactly. That is the biggest thing that I think, you could say about this man, is that he doesn't respect you. He kind of sees you as like a live-in maid, not a wife. Because I think in like, marriage, partnership, whatever, you should absolutely respect the person that you're in a relationship with. You should not just see them as someone who cleans up after you. That's a maid, okay? You should respect that partner. And I don't think that this man respects his wife whatsoever. And that's never going to work out. Whew. But yeah. I'm just trying to see if there's any other ones. Yeah, see, this person says I'm lazy, but I'm not that lazy. Like, who can't even be bothered to put their own medical equipment away if they're able-bodied? It's his equipment, not your responsibility. Like I said, me too. I am a grown person who is lazy, but I am not that lazy. I get that. Absolutely. This one says, buddy, you lock me out of our bedroom, and I guarantee it will be my bedroom only. I get that, yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that the wife needs to have an intervention with him. because it's one of those things where you cannot let someone in your marriage treat you that way. And like, if you constantly have to tell him, like, I don't appreciate what you're doing, you have no respect for me, like, maybe marriage counseling, or maybe you need to go further and put your foot down. It might cause a fight. Then I think this woman, this situation, needs to put her foot down a little bit. Because this is unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable. But anyway, I'll leave it there for today's Am I the Asshole reading. Honestly, some of these make me mad, and that one makes me mad. I try not to get super like mad or emotional from these things, but some of them just like, they piss me off, because it's like, how could you treat someone like that? Like, I could never be selfish enough. Like, I am such a people pleaser that, like, I hate it. Absolutely hate making anyone go out of their way for me. I hate it. And, like, I cannot stand, like, making someone have to do something on my benefit, especially if they have to go out of their way. I hate that. It makes me a little mad, but I'm gonna leave this one here. Tomorrow we are going to be playing Repo. This is my first time playing Repo. We're gonna be playing Repo with the girls. We actually have 2 new friends who are going to be joining us as well. This is gonna be the first collab over here on YouTube, at least, so that's gonna be super fun. But yeah, we're gonna play Repo a little bit later in the day, and come over, hang out with us, have some fun and whatnot. I'm gonna, as you can see with this new like little guy here, I'm really loving this. This was like the best purchase that I've bought in a long time. I'm gonna be doing some more drawing streams soon, so look forward to that. I have one that I was gonna do, and then I just didn't have time this week because, like I said, I've been at the hospital all week with my grandpa. But yeah, look forward to some more fun streams next week, hopefully. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a very great rest of your night. I am going to go eat the rest of my curry, vegetables, and rice, and probably watch some Distractable. So I hope you all have a very great rest of your night, and get some good food in you if you haven't eaten yet. Have a good rest, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Meow 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 meow.